Rinpoche's teaching. We are so lucky to have a Khenchen Rinpoche here. Khenchen Rinpoche is so compassionate and kind. Come to here. His schedule also is busy, so we did a request. He's kindly come. Thank you, Rinpoche. Thank you so much for teaching for us. So tomorrow and Sunday we start morning 9 to afternoon 5. So we have a English and Vietnamese translated. English, Rinpoche is teaching by English, then we have a Vietnamese translator. Okay, so thanks everyone to join us online and in person. And thanks translator Pauline. Also thanks all the sanghas and volunteers. So we start beginning the prayer. Tomorrow and Sunday is 10 to 5. Morning 10 to 5. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and starting in the yellow prayer book. All mothers, sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mothers, sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mothers, sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. For that purpose, until I attain Buddhahood, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Until death, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. From today until this time tomorrow, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. I take refuge in the Buddhas until I attain the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. I take refuge in the Buddhas until I attain the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. I take refuge in the Buddhas until I attain the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all mothers, sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering.
May they
Not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. An infinite array of worlds, each with 4 continents, and the wealth of infinite oceans of realms. If I bring them all to mind and offer them without exception, please hold with compassion all the beings they contain. My body, enjoyments, and whatever I own, my aggregates, elements, and sense sources, my aspirations now and in times to come, as well as everything I grasp as mine. By offering them all, may I be blessed with the end of self-grasping, completely liberated from the bounds of real and unreal, transcending the names and attributes of arising, cessation, and abiding, coming and going, affirmation and denial. The supreme mandala is the natural state. By offering it, may I be blessed to attain the state of Buddhahood. Om
Guru Deva Dagini Rana Mandala Patisa Swaha.
Namo to the Guru, the utter purity of all appearance and existence. I offer all appearance and existence arisen as a primordial ground. I supplicate you, may the 3 realms be completely liberated. Please grant blessings to empty samsara from its depths. Lord, with 5 omniscient wisdoms, crown, ornament, kind, one with loving nature, precious protector of beings, heart of all Buddhas, inexpressible by words or thought, I supplicate you from the core of my mind. Bless me from within the state of Dharmata. Bless me to realize this mind, primordially pure and unborn, as the unfathomable Dharmakaya. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the greater and lesser vehicles and the teachings common to both, according to the dispositions and mental capacities of sentient beings.
Chejekala Jerab Jingoza and the Zilan Labo, Java Tobacco, the Kajuru Bushla Kujaze Kagre Dizinia, Gaziniala Zawagon, Lamaraja Tobacco, Toje, Chapela, de Kadaja Tonga Jidina, the Lamarajawagon, the Baji, Saban, the Baratam, the she. 나서 심지어 점절로 조선도 와진이라 도서 절람도 와진이라 도서 남쪽 봐서 와진 주바에 시서 자와 진제라도 Good evening. It's wonderful to be being here at the Drikung Seattle, the auspicious place. And this for a few days we have some Dharma reflection, study, practice. As you have heard of Dharma teachings, as also read many books from many different teachers, great masters. The Dharma teachings that Buddha taught over 2,000 560 years or some ago, and that Buddha taught still is continuing, maintaining in the world. Because there are a lot of people, now you can imagine during this over 2,500 years, so many people, many different parts of the world got so much benefit from these teachings. And those who are confused, bewildered in the samsara, doesn't know what we're doing. And sometimes we just face a lot of sufferings, and some are traumatized by our own mind, and as well from others. Under such kind of these difficult conditions, when we could reflect Dharma, the Buddha's wisdom, we get so much benefit, see. So that, having said that, the suffering, what we're talking about, is something that nobody desires to have. Human beings, non-human beings, as long as you have the consciousness, the mind, even small insects, birds, fish, educated, uneducated human beings, rich or poor, gods, demigods, everyone, no exception, that no one desires suffering. It's not a culture, it's not a belief, it's the reality nature. And at the same time, the suffering that, peace, at the same time, the peace and happiness that everybody seeking, desire to have peace, happiness. No matter what kind of their belief system, no matter what kind of culture they have, the world, the way they live, just from the innate of the mind, simply just want to have some peace, physically, mentally. And see, there's no disagreement on this. Everybody, that's why in the world, you see, what we call UN, United Nations, they talk about the human right. Actually, it's not just human right. It's the right of everybody, every sentient beings. What we call human beings, because human beings can communicate, can complain, about the problems. They can give ideas. We need this for peace, happiness. The others, they don't. They cannot communicate. So it's very important to have the human beings have that kind of wisdom, understanding. Because all those animals, they are under the mercy of the human beings. Look at all now there's due to the technologies, and then the scientists, they are finding out skills, methods, so they have such a great skill to like say cattle farms, fish farms, poultry farms. They just make hundreds and thousands, they gather together. And then, you see, become a big business that not before this happened, but it's becoming more and more organized. So you see, and we don't have a wisdom, understanding of the suffering of these individuals. So look at these things and look at ourselves. So how much, when I suffer, how much I work, I make effort to free from the suffering. That, how much that I want, how to get together that what I want, how much I should make. I'm making effort to get rid of that what I don't want. But then you see there are so many other things. So why you ask this question? Why there's nobody doesn't want suffering? Even they don't believe anything. Very destructive, ruthless individuals, still they don't want suffering for themselves. And everybody will desire for peace and happiness. Why, you ask? What is the hidden subject on this? Even my mind, such a negative thoughts, confused, deluded, but still I want peace, happiness. You ask this is very important, So there must be some kind of common sense. Everybody, So that's what's called Buddha nature we call Tathagata Garbha. So that Buddha nature means the nature, goodness of that. This nature itself is peace, is pure, is absence of all the suffering. That is pervaded by all the sentient beings. Like say, when there's a sun in the sky, no matter how cloud is thick, still there's a dim light. At night, when there's no sun, the night becomes dark. So no matter how much cloud is so thick, the sun, there's a dim light is there. Likewise, no matter how much our mind is diluted with the adventitious obscuration, still within that, there's some flesh of peace. I want peace, happiness. I don't want suffering. So that's our capital. See. Now that peace and happiness, that's what we desire for, and suffering that we don't want doesn't go away just by wishing. Say, I don't want suffering, no matter how much you say, it doesn't go away by itself. We pray, I'm facing this all of suffering. What should I do? Please take away my suffering. Please help me. I don't want this suffering. No, please help me. but still doesn't go away. Sometimes you pray to such a powerful deities, beings, still doesn't go away. All the peace and happiness, I want this, please give me this peace, happiness, please give me this success. If I get this, I'll be so happy. No, you pray day and night. Doesn't happen. Therefore, everybody work hard, making effort, doing something, All this is the action of the mind. Everybody have the mind, but it's very mysterious. We don't see it. I don't see my mind. So where it is? I'm thinking so much, Day and night I think. But I don't know where that is. You see, it's very mysterious. It's a hidden subject. So you see them. Everybody has the mind. So now, because we don't see it directly, because there's no color to see, there's no, the mind has no color, white, red, blue, green, all this, there's no color to see. There's no something tangible phenomena to touch. See? It has no shape, no color. But that's the foundation. Now, because of this, we think a lot, but we don't see it. In this modern scientists, very advanced, they are looking for the mind. Where's the mind? Investigating, and they, through the machine, they don't find it. Then they say the brain is the mind, So then explain, this side is this side is this, compassion, suffering, this all explain in the, just bring up the brain, and then they're pointing out all the different types of feeling of the mind. But you see, mind is a little more than this. The mind can think day and night. If you sleep, still they're thinking. That's why you are dreaming. Sometimes you say, I cannot think of anything, but still you are thinking. You are thinking what that you cannot think. This, And then you say, everywhere you go. The mind, you see, the ego, aversion, anger, attachment, pride, jealousy. Everyone has this, you see. Doesn't matter whether educated or uneducated. Doesn't matter what kind of culture they have. Doesn't matter what kind of belief system they have. It's shared by everybody in the world. And we haven't been to school to learn these things. is something that is with us, isn't it? Everywhere. It's just more or less, some have more, some have less, but everyone has this. So just contemplate. This is a very important point. Why Buddha taught the Dharma teachings? And why Buddha taught all those teachings and why we are following that. So Buddha, you see, when he was born in a northern Himalaya area, the country that is called Kapilivastu, in that there's a small kingdom. His father was a very successful man, and he has the only that one child. That time, of course, he was not called Buddha. He was called Siddhartha. No, it's called Prince Siddhartha. Because his father was a powerful man and successful and respected by people in that area well. So Siddhartha got such a great opportunity going to school, educate, learn all things that exist at that time, all the different types of educations that he went through, and he became exceptionally good. Also, he met many different religious teachers, learn all the different types of belief systems, what they teach. So, since the father has only one child, so when time comes, he was going to follow his father's footsteps, to enthrone his father's place. So meanwhile, when he was as young, then he visits different areas in that country, meet different people. There are some rich people, some are very poor, the farmers. And he also encounters people, those are very old, those are sick, and there are some who are dying, and some are very poor, underprivileged. All these things there. So he was kind of contemplating on this, what their life is about. When I enthrone as the leader of the country, how I should help these people. So he was investigating so much. Sometimes he goes under the big tree and meditates, because he learned different methods from different teachers. He sits, he contemplates, and he achieved very high meditative states. And then also, those who are poor say, how I can help to these individuals when I become king. So you see, these all are just he was going through in his mind. Then those people who are getting old cannot see clearly, cannot hear, cannot walk well. They have to walk with a walking stick. Some even cannot walk. And there are some people who are sick, a lot of pain. And then there are some are dying, as I mentioned, The families are crying, when they lost their loved ones. Please don't die, stay with us. Begging. He sees these things. He sees this. And so what I can do or how I can help to these individuals, you see. So these all, you see. Those who are hungry, you can give food. Those who are cold, no cloth, you can give cloth. But those who are sick, those who are aging, those who are dying, how I can help. Those are kind of suffering. It's something, that no one can help. We can give help through the medical. At that time, there was also a lot of medicines at that time, herbal medicine, not the modern technologies. So you can do something, but no matter how much you do, finally you die. So what I can help. So those that which I can help, those who are which beyond my ability. See. And there you see, there are some who are very rich, they die. They leave everything behind. Their whole life spent accumulating wealth. At the time of death, they have to leave everything behind. Cannot take a penny with them. Even this cherished party, they have to leave behind. Those who are poor as well, even their ragged clothes, that also have to leave behind. That's it. So you see, since he has all, he was contemplating on these things, meditating, contemplating. So he said, I cannot stay in that kingdom, enjoy myself, because my father provided all things that I need. I cannot be so selfish myself. Using all the people of the country for my enjoyment. That's not fair, not right. I must do something instead of just sitting enjoying in the palace. So that's where then he left the kingdom. His wife, his child. Look at you see nowadays. People fight for their kingdom. They do everything. How I should become this powerful person of this country, that country, this power, that power, this wealth, that wealth. You see, but Siddhartha was thinking of all the beings. What kind of solution is there? So he left the kingdom. Then, you see, he went through. So because you see, enjoying the kingdom, not only just for others as well, himself was thinking, when I die, how should I accept this from such a rich, wonderful life? With all this enjoyment there, and I die, I have to leave behind. So much pain is there. So it's for my own sake and for others as well. So for these all the reasons, he left the kingdom. Because the enjoyment is not the complete solution for peace and happiness. No matter how much you accumulate it, you can see the people, they have so much wealth, some individuals, they don't have real peace and happiness. They're suffering also so much, fighting each other, no satisfaction. You accumulate something, you want more, you want more, you want more. There's never enough. See? It's not. So then he went, as you mentioned, he left the kingdom, and then he went under the hardship for 6 years. No place, beautiful house, no food, no clothes. I'm sure you have seen, just his body was just a skeleton, Under such kind of great austerities, hardship, but there's also no peace, no happiness, you see. So he himself tried both the most luxurious life, a king life, and most difficult life, no food, no clothes, under the tree in a cave. Both are not the solution for the suffering. So now what? See, after 6 years he tried that. He achieved such a high state of meditation. Very, very high state of meditation. Sometimes he feels maybe I'm enlightened. It's called. He achieved a space-like meditative state. Still, no, this was not the final solution. So then he realized it's the mind. I have to understand the mind. So he wake up from that meditation. Then he choose the middle path. Not too luxurious life, not too ascetic life. And he just ate the food, built strength physically, and then he proceed to Bodhgaya. I'm sure many of you have been there in Bodhgaya, under the Bodhi tree. Then he sat there. Now I need to wake up my mind, realize my mind. I should awake the mind. This is the final solution. Until I achieve this state, even my body went into pieces. I will sit here without distraction. And he meditated. Then the Maras, demons from all the directions, now they see this Siddhartha. If he become the Buddha, then it is not good for us. He will no, destroy all the demons like us. We must now disturb his meditation. So they try all things what they can, throwing weapons, mountains, many different the object of such a desire, the desire objects, all these things. And his mind was totally like a mountain, meditating on the loving kindness. It's calm. It's calm. Unafflicted loving kindness. He meditated that. Everything himself, nothing but only nature of the loving kindness. So because of that, the power of that unmoving mind, unafflicted mind, and all this the demonstration of all the maras, miracles, everything transformed into flowers. All the maras become powerless. They could not do anything. So with that meditation state, then you see they are called Shila, Samadhi, Vipassana. Shila is moral conduct. Samadhi is a meditative concentration. And Prajna is a special insight. See, they work together. They are interdependent. Without the other, cannot function. Like, for example, without the meditative state, it's not possible to have this special insight. No? And without the moral support as a foundation, cannot have the samadhi, meditative state. See? So with such a pure Shila as a foundation, and then the meditative state, calm abiding the mind. And with its wisdom, awareness, special insight, they're synchronized, and then Siddhartha, actualize the ultimate nature of as it is, uncontrived, calm, then fully awakened, because all these mental afflictions is mentioned, this all mental afflictive emotions, clashes, then none of this exist. Realize total nature of the emptiness of all the fabricated natures. Then you see, then you understood everything. Because no obscuration is there now, mentally. Mentally, all the obscurations are taken care of. Realize non-existence nature of the mental afflictions. See, when he saw that, so now I become Buddha. See, from then he was called Buddha. Buddha is Sanskrit word, fully awakened. like awake from the sleep. Then he saw all the sentient beings, their suffering, the cause of the suffering, and how to eliminate the cause of suffering. He saw both samsara and nirvana, directly enlightenment, because that he achieved the called Dharmakaya, total state of the enlightenment. See? So then, the estimation, because of that, you see, the 6 realms of the sentient beings. They're suffering, the cause of suffering. And these all sentient beings that they're trying all the best how to free from suffering. They sacrifice their life for peace and happiness, but they never achieve peace and happiness. So it's a vicious cycle, a relentless suffering, one after another. They devote their whole life doing something, working hard. They slave their life for peace and happiness. The result is only suffering. So his compassion. So he did now compassion that in his mind rose. Kind of called indomitable compassion. I must do something. I left the kingdom out there. I went through the hardship for 6 years. Now here finally I got the result. Now I must do something. See? It makes sense? So this is the why, So soon after that, then gods, human beings, and they heard of Buddha. Siddhartha was enlightened, become Buddha. They started asking, please give what you have achieved. Give us your wisdom. Requesting the turning the wheel of the Dharma. See? So then first he went to from Bodh Gaya, he went to Sarnath, it's called Varanasi. That time it's called Varanasi. Now they call Sarnath. It's part of the Varanasi, He turned the first wheel of the Dharma, as you know. Have you got my short writing? Oh. How to live in the happiness he sent to you? Okay. You all have here in your, oh yes, yeah. It's good to go because, it's short but complete, So all is first as mentioned, all the composite phenomena are what's called impermanent, mentioned there. So first you see, the Four Noble Truths the Buddha taught. You should know the suffering, that what you don't want, that what you don't want the suffering, but you should know about it. If you don't know, like say, when you are sick, then doctor is checking, doctor is checking if you are, what kind of sickness. Say, I says, I have a headache. Says, no, this is a strange headache, There are so many different types of headaches, So doctor has to know what kind of headache you have. So doctors have to investigate, checking all, using all the machines, all this, what kind of problem this person has to treat. Same thing, So Buddha said, first the suffering you don't want, you should know about it. All the details. So that's why Buddha said, you should know about the suffering. And yes, then he said, you should know about the cause of the suffering to avoid. When you don't know the cause of the suffering, you can't, we can't help to free from the suffering, So you have to know the cause of the suffering to get rid of, to free from that. So once you, then is there way to free from the suffering? Is there total way? Is there any total way how to free from suffering? And Buddha said, yes, this is called nirvana. It's called cessation. In Sanskrit, it's called nirodha. And then, how to achieve that nirodha, cessation of suffering? You have to follow the path, mark. Follow. So he just said, you have to know this. So then details about the suffering. This is very important. Suffering, there are many different types of suffering. So there's basically three suffering of suffering. As we know, we all call suffering. We get what we don't want. We don't get what we want. We get what we get what we don't want, And then, when we're sick, we don't want that. We get sick. Then we're aging, So this all that we all know is a suffering. Now, go a little deeper. Buddha said there's called suffering of change. What we call enjoyment. Where we are eating very delicious meal. Very nice wine. Get a sip of the delicious wine, Or sometimes when you are so kind of deluded, so also Osho's called mind is so difficult. You use some drugs, and it helps you to relax, Oh, I like this. Oh, it gives me such a joy, the drug, So this all is called suffering of change. They don't last long. They change into suffering. See? It doesn't mean don't eat, okay? We eat, but it's impermanent. It's called impermanent, changing. So impermanent is a suffering, you see. When you are young, strong, beautiful, all this change into old. Wrinkle face, gray hair, we change into, doesn't last long. All this, everybody's trying their best to indulge these enjoyments. Sometimes we exploit it, exploitations, Oh, this without realizing they are the cause of suffering. That don't last long. They change into suffering. But we indulge. We're so much obsessed on these things. Then at the end we complain. We cry. Suffering there is, So that is understandable. So you see, no? Just say like, a young boy want to buy a sport car, very expensive. He really says, I want the car so much. You ask his father, his mother, whoever is making a lot of money, I really want a car, otherwise I cannot stand, And then the father and mother, they're trying their best and they put together. And she said, to buy a car. And the young man, as soon as he got the key, he was enlightened, You see, oh, I got the car. He was so happy. But then after starting he got the car, turned on the engine, and started driving, and suffering starts, you see. Because he's so attached to the car, something may happen. Car will damage, He has to be very careful. You see, then you see, he has to pay the insurance, car insurance. You have to pay the gas. Yep. That from there, it starts all the expenses spending. It's called suffering of change. See, but we never learn the lesson. We just go for it, try again, and go that, and go through all the suffering. It's obvious, very clear, isn't it? So whole world, everywhere you see, doesn't matter what kind of culture you believe, culture you have, religion you believe, educated, uneducated, it's for everybody, you see. And that's also understandable. You can understand a little more. Now next, suffering of condition. As you see, we all are under the suffering of condition. 공부. You see, this 5 skandha we have, 5 skandha, the 5 aggregates, the body we have, the body and feeling. When we have the body, we have a feeling of good, feeling of not good, or this feeling. Then there's a perception. You perceive all these things right, wrong, all this perception. Then after that, there's a mental formation, creating the karma, causes. Then there's called consciousness. You can see, eyesight, eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness. So when we have these 5 aggregates, 5 skandha. As long as we have this, we are under the condition of suffering. Under the condition of suffering of change. So now what should I do? It's a very heavy subject. Nagarjuna said, Jesse Pumbun Zenyu, but this is the Nanzenyu. Nanzenyu, Yangle, the Delayan, the Kovarjus. As long as we are grasping these 5 aggregates, then we have the I, see, ego. It's me, I. Then there comes my. Then there comes other. See. Then I attach to myself, I, ego. When I've had attachment to this, there comes obstacle. Then I have aversion, aggression. So these are 3 poisons. Ignorance, attachment, and anger, aversion. So the 3 poisons are the foundation of the samsara. See? You see, anybody, Buddhist, non-Buddhist, believer, non-believer, everybody, you see. So these are within us, not outside, not a piece of rock. No. Within us we have. So first you recognize this, first see the suffering. Then the cause of suffering. Look at this. Now how I can do, we have no ability to do. So we have to rely on Buddha, who is enlightened, as I mentioned, who is enlightened. So Buddha. So that's it comes to taking refuge. So I take refuge in the Buddha. When we say I take refuge in the Buddha, so I want to become Buddha, who's free from all the suffering. See, it's not just enough saying some prayers to Buddha. I want to become Buddha. That's the view, okay, view. Now how to become Buddha? Then you study, practice the Dharma. It's called meditation. View, meditation, Dharma. You study Dharma. What are the causes of the suffering? How to eliminate those causes of suffering? How to get rid of all the causes of suffering? You meditate, you contemplate. See, now to practice these, to study and practice these things, what we should have, we have need moral, so Shila. So it's called Sangha, taking refuge in the Sangha. Avoiding all the cause of suffering. Accumulating all the cause for peace and happiness. That's called Shila. That's a Sangha. It's conduct. So you see, taking refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, the view, the right view is the Buddha. And the right meditation, that's how we meditate. No? As I mentioned before, calm and abide the mind, relax the mind, and then avoid all the cause of the suffering. Cause of the suffering, to be avoided, and the cause for peace and happiness that is to be accumulated is a universal law. It's not something Buddhists believe or Buddhists must do, or some others it's okay if they do. No, there's no any difference, because you see the three poison, not just only Buddhist. Anybody who has this suffering, so we all are in the same boat in the samsara. It's called samsara, you know. So when we know this, you see, then you understand Buddha's teaching. I must follow. I must dedicate. There's no alternative. Must follow step by step. It's not a Buddhist belief. It's universal. So all our teachers has a responsibility to share this wisdom, the Buddha, to everybody, so that everybody can get a chance to get help. Otherwise, they think this only just Buddhist. This is a Buddhist stuff, you know. This is how the Buddhists they do. We don't have to do it. It's their way, you know, not our way, you know. It becomes very limited. So we should have a wisdom to share this wisdom to all others. It's not just converting to Buddhist. It's a way how to help. You see the differences, you know. Our mind, we should have such a pure motivation. How to become a better human being. So the Buddha said, when you take refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, don't harm others. You see, that's starting as a measure of Buddha nature. Right from the beginning, Dharma means peace, non-violence, ahimsa. Start from there, peace. You see, when you have some peace, no distraction, no aggressions, you feel so kind of peace, relax. You see, even a bird, insect, you see, they feel peace. You see, when they feel when they feel something disturbing their life, they run away. They have a fear. So their life is coming some danger. They run away as soon as possible. You see. So Buddha said, when you practice, follow the Dharma, take refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, don't harm others. First, you see, before giving other peace, say don't harm others. You see. Then total Buddhahood, Dharmakaya, is the total peace. Because when Buddha achieved the Buddhahood, then what he said, you know, the mind is very profound. Because it's measured difficult to understand. Even my own mind, we individually, your own mind, difficult to understand, isn't it? See? very profound. We don't know where it is. Inside the body, outside the body, in between, where, you cannot just catch up. And that is the total peace. Sabshi, turtle, Sapa, Shiva. Shiva means total peace. When you realize your mind totally, and that's the total peace. Doesn't matter where you are, in the mountain or on the street. And there's nothing to be feared. And it is free from all the elaboration. There's no limit. It's like the space, the sky. The sky, the space, if you just say, what's the limit of the space? There's no limit. So it's free from elaboration. And it's not just mere empty. It is luminosity. It's knowing everything. So it is inconceivable. And it is uncompounded. Nobody has created that. That nature, my mind, your mind, mind of the dog, mind of the bird, we share same thing. But it's a matter of the realize or not realize. It's a matter of your experience or not experience. See, that is the Buddha. We take refuge to that. So to realize that, then we follow the Dharma. Dharma, so three pitakas, three trainings. The training of the Shila, training of the meditative concentration, the training of the wisdom awareness, especially insight. See, that's the Dharma. Then you follow step by step to purify all the obscurations that we have. So the teacher is responsible to share these wisdoms. And all the students are responsible to their own practice. So that is the, you can say, nirvana, nirodha, absolute nirodha. And then follow the path. See. Now, how we are doing now? Doing okay? Excuse me? Yes. Nirodha, cessation. Yes. Ngopa in Tibetan. Ngopa. Cease to exist. Now when you know about the samsara as mentioned, and following Dharma, so precious. You feel, I'm so fortunate. Taking refuge in the Buddha is something very special. And following the Dharma and having a pure conduct such a precious thing. Generally in the world you see people there who are, doesn't matter who they are, who have pure conduct, people appreciate in the world, no? So don't deceiving, don't telling lie, not harming others. People admire those individuals. You see, there's in the world those, and those who are, you see, those are destructive, always telling lie, deceiving people. People don't appreciate. So this is the base. The Buddha's teaching is based on this, because they are cause for peace, harmony. So Buddha's teaching goes deeper. It's called interdependent, In Sanskrit it's called Pratita Samutapada. Interdependent, interconnected. Everything is interconnected. Nothing is independent. So because of that, because of having said that, you see, like this table is on this bigger table. So this small table depends on this bigger table. These tables depend on this cause, the foundation floor. The floor is based on this ground, so interdependent, roughly. See. Now this table also depends on the four sides, the legs, all this. Now when you go further, depends on all the dust particles. All the dust particles that interconnected. It's called interdependent, interconnected. My right hand depends on the left. Without the left, there's no right. Without the right, there's no left. So it's just labeled. It's interdependent. The suffering is dependent on the cause. Suffering is not independent. The cause we created, that brings whether peace or happiness or the suffering. So it's interdependent. Because of that, the Buddha said, avoid all the cause of suffering and gather all the cause for peace and happiness. So it's universal. It's not something Buddha have created. Otherwise, sometimes we say this Buddhism, So these are so important to follow. And then the mind. Everything is, you should say, the whole world that is, now everything is a creation of the mind. Look at all the scientists, they're creating science and technology to call, all this internet, media, social media, all this communication, all this, you see, transportations. It's all created by our mind. This whole is created by the mind. The mind designed, and then let's do this way, create this. We put together. So this is a product of the mind. All the suffering is the product of the mind, the deluded mind. All the peace and happiness is the product of the mind, or the wisdom. Okay. You have anything? Any discussions we need? Mm. Mm.
Just a minute.
Kampala, you spoke about ahimsa.
Excuse me.
You spoke about ahimsa,
Ahimsa, yes.
nonviolence,
Yes.
not hurting, not harming.
Yes.
And Hindu and Buddhism have that concept.
Yes.
But it seems like in Christianity, they go
Yes.
further
Yes.
to helping.
Yes. Helping.
So not harming is one thing.
Yes.
Helping is a further step. So in
Yes.
Buddhism, it's like you get enlightened,
Yes.
you'll help everybody.
Yes.
So that's the most important thing.
Mhm.
But in terms of actions,
Yes.
would you like to say anything about that part in Buddhism? Thank you so
Now,
much.
first, as I mentioned, avoid harming. Say, basic first is don't harm, don't take life, don't steal, don't engage in sexual misconduct, don't drink alcohol and intoxications. No, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. You see, there's a lot of escal avoiding all the cause of suffering. We have to abstain from that. Once you are trained in that way, then there comes the 6 parameters: generosity, moral ethics. See, you protect others' life. Giving, not just only wealth, giving fearlessness, giving Dharma teachings, wisdom. You see, all this events, you see, and that goes further. Not just only giving something, small things. And slowly, you practice skillfully. Because you see everything is illusory nature. We're not making illusion, but understand how everything functions as an illusion. Everything's just a manifestation. Like a dew on the grass, the blade of grass. It's just like a cloud. Just a manifestation. A reflection of the mind. See these things. See. You progress on these things. Develop your mind on these things. Then when you come on this, you realize about this nature of how everything functions. Then you have no fear even you to give yourself to others. There's a lot of stories in the past. You see Bodhisattvas, great Bodhisattvas, who give their life to others. You see, first we have to learn how not to harm. And this is impartial. It's not just I belong to this school, I belong to this school. All these differences are transcended. Because all the sentient beings are in the same kind of non-dimension. You see, you have to understand that. You see. Okay?
Could you repeat the 6 parameters again? I think you only got to 4.
Yeah, 6 parameters. Then you go samadhi, wisdom, is all, you know. Perseverance, you see, perseverance, you see, generosity, moral ethics, patience, perseverance, meditative concentration, wisdom, awareness, you see, these 6 parameters, 6 perfection. It's called perfection. You have to perfect.
So folks on the Zoom, you can unmute yourself and ask a question if you'd like. My question is, should I focus more on meditative concentration or helping other people?
First you learn, study, then put into practice. I think important is first you should have some resource to help others. When you don't have resource, how you can help others?
Rinpoche,
Yes.
I have a silly question. Since everything is appearance and emptiness,
Yes.
how is it possible that something could be called inanimate?
In
How can something be called inanimate?
Inanimate, no consciousness.
But everything comes from Dharmakaya that has awareness and
Yes.
emptiness.
That's why as I mentioned, this whole is product of the mind, as I mentioned. See? See, this table is product of the mind. The product of the mind. Not just projection. Before projection is the product of the mind. Mind created. So the product of the mind. The mind designed this and then produced. The product of the mind. Then you project. So all the mind, you see. Then somebody say, oh, this is beautiful. Oh, I like it. Then somebody say, no, I don't like this. If it is exist outside, really exist, everybody should project same as everybody. But there are a lot of disagreement each other. It shows it's a projection of your mind. Then it is turned into dust particle. Then dust particle is not exist. So there's no animate or inanimate. Okay. Make sense? Yes.
Rinpoche La, thank you for the wonderful teaching. Have a quick question on when we call, for example, our mind has the quality of like luminosity, right? We typically say that, and obviously there's a lot of like practice that involves
Yes, a lot
like
of practices, yes.
meditate our mind is like very luminous, like bright, like kind of like luminous, basically, literally luminous. But ultimately, the mind should not be described thus way, right? Could you kind of define a little bit about that? Like, so, like, luminous mind.
Yes.
When we visualize brightness, right, the
Yes.
light,
Yeah.
it's still a method. It's a skillful method or metaphor. I want
It's
to
a
get
metaphor,
clear. It's a
yes.
metaphor.
It's a metaphor.
It's not that the nature of our mind is actually luminosity, right? It's not the light that we see through our eyes.
What do you say when you say at the Heart Sutra? When you say gathering all the Sanghas, Bodhisattvas, at that time Buddha enter into what? Samadhi of what? Yeah, just yeah, in the Heart Sutra, yes. Yeah, what read if you have text. At the time when the Sangha, the bhikkhus and Bodhisattvas gathered together, at that time Buddha enter into what?
Hang on. Page 36, Blue Prayer Book.
Yes.
At that time, the Bhagavan entered the samadhi of the enumerations of phenomena
You
called
see,
perception of the
what is
profound.
that? Enumeration.
Enumerations of phenomena.
What's that? Enumeration. What does the enumeration means?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
No sense.
enumeration. Yeah, that
Like listing.
Listing, right? Yeah.
listening.
List like one,
Different.
No.
Numbers.
No,
Numbers of.
No. Someone now should number. Yes. But before that, what is enter into?
The samadhi of enumeration of phenomena, a perception of the profound. This is this
Translation.
particular translation. Different translation.
Not
Sorry.
quite right.
Emptiness.
Someone now should Nawa is appearance. It's appearance they have. Into the samadhi of appearance. Good. Someone now should number things. Samo. What's profound? What? Perception. Perception is the perception is Samu Nawa. Nawa is appearance. Nawa is appearance, luminosity. No. See. In Tibetan it's called the age of someone now she but enter into the appearance, profound appearance of the enumeration of the phenomena. So that someone Nawa is effulgence. You know the effulgence? Yeah. Yeah, look at your the dictionary. What is effulgence? Huh? Bright light.
Infinite.
It's an infinite bright light without condition.
Without condition. Beyond our basically like eye perception, sort of.
Yeah. So this is
Profound perception.
Profound perception.
Profound perception. In the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound perception.
Yes. So it's a profound, clear light. It's a profound luminosity. It's unconditioned. See. So look at this, So that is the nobody created. It's nature itself. So Buddha, who enlightened, who's meditating in that. So that this saying is not just mere empty. When you talk about this coming, form is emptiness, and emptiness is a form. When it says, this is all empty, 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 you think it's just empty. It's not just that empty. Enumeration means, you see, countless knowledge that Buddha comprehends, the countless knowledge that exists in the universe. Nothing is beyond Buddha's mind. With all this samsara, nirvana, are within the dimension of the Buddha's wisdom.
Thank you for the explanation. I'm asking this also maybe I'm also hereby just requesting you when you teach about the Dharmakaya, Guru Yoga, we do the empowerment, right?
Yes.
The light's empowerment.
That's right.
So that's getting used to that experience in a way.
So when you know these things, then receiving empowerment makes more rich, profound.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so the last discussion, I think, almost answered my question.
Yes.
And recently we received Medicine Buddha empowerment in this temple.
Yes.
And then people have been practicing Medicine Buddha, and it's said to be, the vows Medicine Buddha is taken to anyone says his name or prays to him can receive healing. And my question centers on, we have family members, we have parents getting elderly and sometimes sick.
Getting sick.
Sick, yes, sick.
Then they are taking a lot of medicines.
They're taking medicine but still get sick. Or fall.
Yes.
Fall down, break the bone.
Yes.
Okay.
Then finally we die.
Father will die.
Yes.
That's right. Eventually,
right.
Yes.
It's a history.
But
we can do that.
Yes, everyone. But Medicine Buddha, I don't know where he lives, but
we don't know.
I don't know. But as you said, Buddha has omniscient knowledge of everything.
Yes, knows everything.
And my small prayer to Medicine Buddha must then evoke a response.
Yes.
But he has dedicated his bodhisattva path that he can heal people.
Yes.
So he must help my father if I pray.
He should.
He should. He should. Yes.
So then.
Yes, I can have faith. I have faith in Medicine Buddha.
Yes.
But then there's the explanation you give that gives it the extra understanding.
Yes.
Gives the extra boost to your faith.
Yes.
Or makes it even stronger. Okay.
I try to push.
Yes.
Enhance.
Yes, enhance the faith.
Your faith.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
You did, yes.
So then you said there's no alternative,
There's no alternative,
there's
right.
no alternative I have to, I like or don't like, I have to follow. No choice.
Right. Okay. That's good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No question.
No question? Okay.
There's somewhere something.
Close enough, huh? Okay. I have
Something is twisted, you know.
yeah. Thank you, Rinpoche, for the teachings today. So I had an interesting experience when after the Medicine Buddha empowerment and doing the Medicine Buddha chanting and practice at home
Yes.
and I had a number of things happen in my life that
Yes.
and in my environment that were sometimes more difficult.
Yes, sometimes very difficult.
Right? And so is this like
Then you are wondering, you know.
yeah, so
Yes.
is this like are we purifying obscurations or what's happening there?
Yes.
Is that what that is?
So it's supposed to be better.
Yeah, that's right. It was like some very challenging stuff
Yes.
came up.
It's challenging and a test. It's testing you.
Okay. It worked out. It was okay. It was a good test. Thank you, Rinpoche.
You see, I mentioned, you know, Buddha teachers, they have the responsibility to teach correctly without mistake. It's their responsibility. That is their responsibilities. And then once you receive the teachings, to practice accordingly. No? And it's the responsibility of the practitioner. So both has the responsibility. Make sense?
Oh yeah.
That's interdependent, okay?
Sure.
And then one thing what Buddha said was, this also keep in the mind. In Tibetan scholar, Tunam Tigba Chui Medushin. Buddha has no what you call, how should I form this translation? Just first to say, Buddha doesn't wash the sin of the sentient beings by the water. Means there's no kind of say, there's no, I should say no ability, there's no ways, should say, there's no way, no, say, oh, no, not discrimination, not discrimination. Just say there's no possibility, there's no possibility way to wash the obscurations of the sentient beings by Buddha. And Buddha dispel by hand the suffering of the sentient beings. And also Buddha cannot, doesn't happen, no way to bestow his realization, enlightenment to you. Then when you say these three things, then what? How Buddha can help? chunyi tempa tewe trovar jus. And say, Buddha taught the truth of the causalities. From that, sentient beings can liberate. See, that's what I mean. The Buddha and all the teacher has the responsibility to teach precisely, correctly. Once those teachings are taught, then it's the practitioner's responsibility to practice accordingly. Your question, you came out somehow like say, medicine Buddha has a responsibility to get rid of all this problem, That doesn't happen. It's interdependent. So it's something like that, There's a milk. From the milk you produce the butter, isn't it? There you say the person who churned the milk is, we can say, oh, he produced this butter from the milk. Something like that. Man, he produced the butter. But he didn't produce the butter from the milk. The butter is produced from the milk, not by him. But he made the effort. You see, if there's no milk, how he can produce the butter? Make sense? Yes. When there's no milk, the man has no any power to produce the butter. You see. But we say he walked and he produced the butter. Something like without milk, he maybe produced the butter, There kind of connotations there. Then you say, I don't have milk, but you have to produce the milk, butter, So this all is kind of interdependent. All interdependent. Then you say, this butter is produced from the milk. Then you ask, is this butter is the milk? We don't say butter is not. We don't say butter is milk, isn't it? Yeah, butter is butter, But without this milk, there's no butter. This butter is produced from this milk. And if you say if the milk is butter, you see, the milk is not butter. The butter is no milk. But without milk, there's no butter.
Can we say,
You see?
milk has the potential to make butter?
Yes, milk has the potential to make the butter, but it's not butter. But without the milk, no butter. You see? So you see, this is when you see the milk, we don't say this is butter. You see, this color, the interdependent is inconceivable.
Yeah, because then there's cows, farmers.
Exactly,
grass,
you all go this way. Then you see the butter you have depends on many causes. You see, as you mentioned or list all this, it's inconceivable. That's what we call interdependent.
So everything is interdependent, and now we have the World Wide Web.
World Wide Web.
The World Wide Web, the internet.
The web, yes.
So everything is even more interdependent.
Yes.
But now we have more samsara.
Yes. So we have a lot of work to take care of.
Rinpoche, can you teach us when an afflictive emotion arises, what we should do?
No, I think we have to discuss this tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Today is the time, out of time. Now first, please relax yourself. Just take deep breath. And exhale all your tension. Just relax. And then just reflect this what we went through this session. As I mentioned briefly, introduce about the relation of the Buddha's life story. And reinforce yourself. I'm so fortunate having connected this Buddha's teaching. Buddha's teaching is so profound, so precious. It describes, the reality nature of all the phenomena, how they function. See? With this mind, then, so I will study, practice Dharma more to just deepen in my mind. And then we say some dedication prayers. I think you have this book, page 70.
Page 70 in the
70, yes.
blue prayer book.
Yes.
Dedication by Lord Jigten Samgun.
Yes.
Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind root and lineage lamas, divine assembly of yidams and assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Viras and Virinis, Yoginis and Dakinis, dwelling in the 10 directions, please hear my prayer. May all the virtues collected in the 3 times by myself and all in samsara and nirvana and the innate root of virtue not result in the 8 worldly concerns, the 4 causes of samsara, or ripen as the state of a Shravaka or Pratyeka Buddha. May all mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me and mine, obstructors who harm, Maras who mislead, and the hordes of demons, experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly attain unsurpassed, completely perfected, precious Buddhahood. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May concern about fame, reputation, wealth, and honor in this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, and through that may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. At the time of death, may the suffering of severing the life channel not arise. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of mind as such and the pervading clarity of Dharmata. May I in any case gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death, or in the bardo.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.